What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are a returning subscriber, you're probably very confused, wondering what is this video about, because I normally post DoorDash content and like a little bit of stock content, but this is my first actual like vegan related video. And I just wanted to come on here and explain to you guys why I decided to go vegan and a little bit of how it's going for me, because this is still extremely new. It's been less than 3 weeks, I think, or about 3 weeks, just since I decided I wanted to start doing it. And I want to explain to you just how it went a little bit. Let's just take it back. So before I went vegan, I was definitely a meat eater. I love cheese. I don't drink milk though. I never liked milk. It grossed me out. Now it really grosses me out. But obviously milk is in cheese. So I ate cheese, and that was pretty much, and some eggs, not really. Mostly the only dairy stuff I ate was cheese. Like, I didn't really care for much other dairy. I always drink almond milk, and I have oat milk and just other milks. So yeah. And then I also ate, like, you know, steak, cow, you know, which is a cow, a pig, and a chicken. And the weird thing is, you guys, is that I have seen documentaries before when I was younger. I think I saw like Food Inc. when I was very young, and it was super traumatic. And it's so weird because I remember when I saw that, I was like, I am never eating pig again. And then I was like, I want to be a vegetarian. But the thing is, it's like we forget that what happens, you know what I mean? Like, I knew what I saw. I was young though, like 10, and I was like, this is wrong, and I knew it was wrong. And so I stopped for a while, but then it's like my brain just forgot, you know? And then I was like eating, I'm back to the same old way, and I was eating the same old way. And I was way younger, so I also lived in a household that was not vegan or vegetarian whatsoever. So it was very hard. But, you know, I just kind of forgot, which I think is what happens to a lot of us when we do see stuff like that, and when we are like dedicated to it and want to make a difference, and then we just don't. So now I'm 22 years old, and I was watching a different documentary, Seaspiracy, which I bought this hat. I bought a few things actually from Sea Shepherds because they're in the video. You'd have to watch it to understand all of it. But I watched Seaspiracy because I was just on YouTube one day watching a video from someone I'm subscribed to, and they randomly brought up in the video Seaspiracy, and they were like picking up trash on the side of the road, or not side of the road, but on the beach. And I was like, what? I'm confused. And so I was like, I want to watch that. So I brought it up to Johnny, I think literally that day or maybe the next day, we watched it. And you guys, as I was watching Seaspiracy, I was just shocked. The very ending is when I actually was like crying, but I was just shocked because I didn't know a lot of stuff. And so, like, especially about our oceans and stuff. And so I was just really sad. I said, I'll never eat fish again. Oh, also though, you guys, this was so annoying though, because guess what? The day I saw this video, this documentary, we had just went to Costco. And so we had bought a bunch of different stuff. We had bought, and obviously animal products and stuff. We still have a bunch of food in there. I'm letting Johnny eat most of it. I will say I did eat some of my shrimp because I already bought it, which is terrible, and they're already dead, which is so bad. But obviously I'm never gonna buy it again, but I literally bought that the day I watched this. So it was pretty traumatic. Then after I watched that, I was like, I'm never eating fish again. And then it didn't really touch much on the animals, but after this video, I went into like a deep dive on being vegan and like going vegan. And so I, in my head, decided like, I wanna do this, I wanna go vegan. Very quickly after watching that video, probably like the next day or two, I decided that. And then I was just very upset after all this. And I started, like I said, watching so many different videos. And then I found this documentary that was recommended on Twitter called Dominion. And I did not watch all of this documentary, I will say that. I got about not halfway through it. I got about 30 minutes into it. It was really late at night, like midnight. I was all upset. I was literally bawling my eyes crying, you guys, this. And Johnny was like, I don't think you should watch this. Like, you're going vegan. Like, you don't really need to torture yourself. And so I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna watch any more of it. But I was like obsessed with just watching different clips of like, just things I would see on YouTube, like shorter videos that still showed really terrible things. And just to remind myself, I guess. After watching that, obviously, I was like, yeah, I'm never eating another animal or animal product, even though I love cheese. And so I immediately was looking up different recipes and like different foods I can eat and stuff. And I watched YouTube videos, and there's so many good YouTube videos, by the way, you guys, of recipes. And so I ordered food from H-E-B, like went and got it, and then I've just been going to the grocery store ever since and picking up vegan food and like making my own meals. And so that is when I went vegan. It's been very recent. So now I want to touch on more why obviously I did that. And there are 3 main reasons, literally pretty much all the reasons actually you can think of, but I'm just going to cover 3. Obviously, the main reason for me is the animals, because you guys, I know people say, and this is really annoying to me because people act like they know everything when they don't, because I guarantee you, you do not know everything. in the world, especially around this topic. I learned so many different things watching shorter clips, watching different documentaries and stuff about what the animals are going through, because we're just talking about the animals right now, not the health or anything. I watched other documentaries on that, which I'll talk about. For example, you guys, here are just a couple things I didn't know. You might know them, you might not. If you have not educated yourself, it felt like I stepped into a whole different world after I decided to make this change. So this was in the Dominion documentary, but I did not see this part. I saw it in a separate clip on Reddit because I'm now in a vegan Reddit group, and it broke my heart. This is not even like the worst though, you guys. There are so much others. This has to do with baby chicks. Male baby chicks are literally useless, I guess, to that industry. And so pretty much immediately after they hatch, they are on this conveyor belt. And I saw this clip myself, and I'm just gonna explain it. They're literally on a conveyor belt, like the eggs are still there with them. And they're just like on the conveyor belt and then just dropped into like this, I don't even know the word you call it, but grinder, I guess is probably the word. And literally like grinded alive just because they have no use for them. Like, what? I mean, it just bothered me, obviously. Also, another thing I did not know, which to me, I feel like, how did I not realize this? I didn't know that when cows were, like being held captive, basically, in these farms and slaughterhouses, all these different places, especially milk cows, you guys, I did not know that these cows that we get our dairy products from, our milk, all that crap, I did not realize that they are basically, like literally, I probably have to block out the word for YouTube. I did not know that. Like someone's arm literally goes inside of the cow. And when I saw that, I mean, it just is insane to me. That's not even the worst part really though, because like after that's happened, obviously then they eventually get pregnant, and then they're filled with a bunch of hormones, so they produce more milk, which is not good, obviously, because and then this process is literally repeated over and over and over and over and over again on the same cow too. Like the same cows are going through this, and then once they give birth, their calves are literally taken from them within hours. They're taken from them. They are mourning their babies that are being taken from them. I mean, they force them to have these babies, and then they're taking them from them. Like, could you imagine, if any of you women are watching, if we were forced to have a baby, like imagine someone shoving their arm inside of you or whatever, or, being, messed with in a bad way, obviously. And that just keeps happening to you over and over again, like every 9 months after you have a baby. And then your babies are taken from you. And then eventually you're useless. Like imagine, obviously the ages are different with cows and humans, but imagine you're like 40, whatever, 50, however it is when you go through menopause. And you're useless, and then you're literally killed for the rest of your body so other people can eat you. I mean, it's crazy how much we use animals, and it's crazy how much I did not realize that. Like, I didn't realize a lot of the dairy industry was a problem. That's why at first I was just gonna go vegetarian and just keep eating like cheese and stuff. But by being a vegetarian, it's still taking away from the animals, and that animal will still eventually be killed. Like, that's the bottom line. Yeah, to me, it was like just a huge eye opener for me when I saw these videos and like hearing them cry and scream and having their babies taken away from them, and just, and then what pigs go through too. I mean, they all go through hell, and it's just crazy to what extreme hell they go through. I mean, pigs are also impregnated, and they're trapped in this little tiny like box thing. They can't move. Some of them crush their babies and like kill them by accident. They don't want to. And it's so sad. And they're just stuck in there for so long until, their babies are also taken away. And it's just like, it keeps repeating the process. And it's just so sad. So my main reason obviously was for animal rights and just knowing what they go through, and they're in burning temperatures, being transported sometimes, or freezing, and some of them die on the way there because they can't even like live in that temperature and just in those conditions. And it's just so crazy. I wanted to come on here real quick, you guys, because I completely forgot to mention something that I thought is very important and something that really opened my eyes when I saw, and I highly recommend you look this up, even though it is extremely sad and hard to watch, but it's still something you should see. So that's why I'm telling you to watch those documentaries. But in one of those documentaries, I saw a cow being forced, it was being like, I don't know if it was being stunned, I don't think it was being stunned, but like hit and kicked and like being forced to stand up even though it was severely sick. And you guys, when it stood up, its female parts, the female parts were hanging outside of the cow's body. And I'm not talking like a little thing, like this huge just, it's so sad. Like, this huge thing, like, is hanging from its body, like, outside of its body, and it is being forced to stand and walk as it's, like, in pain and being hit and stuff. They only moved it, I don't know why they moved it or forced it to move itself, just to kill it. Like, literally, as it's walking, they killed it. And I think that, to me, when I saw that, was, like, what really hooked me, because it was so awful. Like, you have to see it for yourself. It is so awful what these people do. They are so nasty to these animals, and they shouldn't even be there in the first place. We are all creatures. We should all deserve a life to just be free, you know? So, yeah, highly recommend you see that. That, for me, I mean, was bad. I've also seen pigs being thrown off of things. That was something I saw when I was younger, like thrown off buildings to kill them. I mean, there are some insane ways they do this, and none of them are okay. But there are some gruesome things out there and methods, and it's just, you should watch it. You should watch it, you guys. And if you want to know more about that, like if you're interested, I highly recommend you watch Dominion, 100%, Earthlings. I was watching some of that today, actually. I didn't get through all that also, because it's also traumatic, and that shows, it all just shows a lot. So it's not just cows, chickens, pigs. It shows dogs. I mean, there's other animals, okay, that go through this in other countries that for some reason we Americans think is so bad, like to dogs and stuff, yet we're doing the same thing to other living beings, which makes no sense. Like, for example here, I got my Shiloh girl, and if she had been made into a pig, that would not have been great. You know what I mean? Like, she's my dog. I love her, but if I love her, then why wouldn't I love another animal? And why would I be okay with eating it? I mean, it just, if you think about it, it doesn't really make logical sense. That's pretty much why I don't eat animals on the animal side. Like, I don't want to kill them, because they have a right to live also, just like we do. I would not want to have lived back in the day when, you know, bad things are happening to other humans, like slavery and stuff like that. Something happened in the past that has now changed, because we realize it isn't good. I don't know why we're still living like this. I don't know why animals are being killed in gas chambers, their necks being slit open literally as they're hanging up in the air, just bleeding, alive, going through pain and agony. It's just, I don't understand it at all. So that's obviously my main reason as to why, because I'm a huge animal lover, and I just can't eat another animal and be an animal lover, in my opinion. I mean, I don't see how that works. Like, I don't know. So let's just move on from that. But like I said, if you want to see this for yourself, because I feel like you really need to experience it to understand. Like, I can tell you things, but until you actually see what the animals go through, and like being hurt and just abused by these people and laughed at and tortured and stuff, it's really eye-opening. At least it was for me. So I highly recommend that. And I will have those linked down below. All of the documentaries that I've pretty much watched or partially watched that I think you should very much watch. So now let's just talk about the health aspect of things. And I want to obviously say I'm not a doctor or anything, but I've done a lot of research, and I've seen a lot of clips, and I've read a lot of the health organization things, what they say, you know, about diseases, where we get them. I did not realize that we can get sick, like diabetes, heart disease, all disease, cancer, like stuff like that. I don't know why I didn't realize this, you guys. I guess I just wasn't educated, and like I literally didn't realize this until I watched the videos, that we can get that, majority get that from eating animals and animal products. So to me, it's like, I don't know why I would even want to risk eating it if it could potentially make me sick. If you didn't know, the World Health Organization actually classifies processed meat as a group 1 carcinogen, which means that there is high evidence that it causes bowel cancer. And then red meats are in group 2, which means that they probably cause that cancer. There's not as much evidence, I guess, but there's evidence that meat can cause cancer. And then there's other evidence that it can cause other issues, like I said, like the other health issues. If you actually look up what the leading cause of death is in the US, I believe it's like, I'll put it here because I'm not totally sure, and I'm just gonna go from the top of my head, but I think it's either heart disease or cancer, but I'm pretty sure it's heart disease and then cancer maybe, and it's huge numbers. So when I actually learned about the health benefits, and not even just that, there's so much more obviously than just, oh, it might cause cancer, or it might cause this. there's a lot of other benefits to it. So once I heard that, to me, it kind of clicked also in my head, like, why would I eat this if it's not even like very good for me? A big misconception when it comes to eating animal products is that it makes you strong, you know, like it's good for you, and that you can't get that with eating plants, which is not true. You can get the same nutrients that you get from eating an animal or eating their products from a plant. To put this into perspective, there are other animals out there like rhinos, gorillas, all sorts of big, strong, powerful animals. Do you know what they eat? They are herbivores. I probably said that weird. They don't eat meat. So how are they surviving and have, you know, being able to get all the nutrients they need, the protein, all that stuff, if they don't eat meat? Why couldn't we? Because our body was not even designed to actually eat meat. If you look at our teeth, we do not have the same canines and mole, whatever, as an animal that actually is meant to eat meat. We look totally different on the inside, you know? So we were actually meant to eat plants. And if you don't believe me, you guys, just do some research on it. It is not necessary to live, to be healthy, to have to eat meat. Like, you don't need to eat any of that stuff to live, to be strong, to be energetic. Actually, you guys, I want to say something real fast. Since I started doing this, I have literally noticed already that I have more energy. Like, I'll be dancing around. I don't really do that. Like, I'll be dancing around at night just because I have energy and I just want to dance. And I don't know why. I've never really been like that. I was always so used to feeling like sluggish. Whenever we go to Texas Roadhouse, I would get a prime rib and I would just get a baked potato with ranch and like a Caesar salad with, of course, Caesar and cheese and all sorts of stuff. And I always ate like all of it, obviously. And I was stuffed and I felt like crap, like literal crap in my stomach. Since I changed over, I have not felt that way at all. Like, I'm full, but I'm not full to a point like that I feel bad and sick and like I can't move and stuff. And so I feel like just in a short amount of time, I'm already seeing quite a big difference just in my energy a little bit. And I think it's great. So I'm really happy that I'm actually seeing differences. And I've also been noticing like my weight isn't fluctuating as much because I lost a lot of weight when I was eating meat, just because I wasn't eating very much of it and I wasn't eating a lot of food, and my taste buds were just like not wanting anything. And since changing this, I've actually been enjoying making meals and stuff, and like, I don't know, I've been eating food. I've been staying at about a good weight for myself. So the bottom line when it comes to the health and stuff is that we really do not need to eat this stuff, and it's really not very good for us. I don't think my taste buds, obviously I will miss some of that at first, but once I'm used to it, I'm good. But obviously that will be hard transitioning. But when I actually think about what I'm eating, when I was eating that, it grosses me out. Like, to think that I could be hurting myself for the future, to have a stroke, to have a heart attack, to have diabetes, or certain types of cancer, heart failure, or organ failure, and heart disease, all that different things that are caused from eating animals. It's a relief to not be doing that and to already start feeling better. And to know that I'm young and I learned this young, I actually feel like I live in a twilight zone. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. Like, it actually has been really hard on me just to like see everyone else in the world that I feel like is just walking around like a zombie, to be honest. Like, just kind of doing the motions of the world and not really learning anything, and realizing that we are having a much bigger impact than we might think. And let's take that to the environmental side. I'm not going to get too much into this. I would eventually like to make more detailed videos on like each of these topics, because I could make this into a much longer video. So just know that there's a lot more that could be said, and I'm leaving some stuff out. The environment, there is so much that I also did not know until I watched Seaspiracy. Like, you guys, I did not know. When it comes to fishing and stuff, I did not realize that we are literally draining our ocean, and that we get oxygen from the ocean to live. Like, it's a huge percentage of the oxygen we get is from the ocean, and the animals in the ocean, obviously, like doing what they need to do to keep it going. And us killing them and eating them is not helping them nor us, which I think is the big picture, is that we don't understand that we're also hurting us and the future of the world. So I did not know that. But then I also did not know that animal agriculture is a huge issue when it comes to the carbon in our world. I don't know the exact statistics of this, and I'm not sure if there really is, like, I don't know, a set statistic. I'm sure it's changing like every however long, but I will try to find it and actually put it here. you've probably heard this if you're into vegan videos, like we have a lot of people in this world going hungry, starving, but we have the capacity to literally feed 10 billion people. There's 7 billion people. Actually, I don't know how many billion people are in this world, but I'll look it up and put it here. I don't think it's 7. Maybe it's like 8 now. I don't know. But as a little bit ago, it was like 7. So we have enough to feed all the people, but there's still people going hungry because we are feeding the cows stuff that we could also be eating. And then it makes no sense because we're going to be feeding them this, and a lot of those nutrients are not going to even be there anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be gone, and we're going to eat that animal and get whatever is left over pretty much, you know? I know it might not make a whole lot of sense. That's why I highly recommend you guys really go do your own research if you're interested. And if you care about the environment, because like, I mean, we all should care about the environment. I know there's people out there that say they don't even care about themselves. So it's really hard to talk to people like that because I mean, if you don't care about yourself, you're obviously not going to care about anything else. So I don't really know what to say to people like that. But to the people that actually, you know, are humane and care and you say you're an animal lover, I really recommend you do your research. I don't think there's a humane way to die. I wouldn't want to be dead, obviously, if I'm healthy. Only way I'd want to die if I was like 80 something or however old and I was like sick, which hopefully I won't be because I'm a vegan. And then I would want to be, you know, put down in like the least painful way possible. We don't even do that for animals though. Like that's the problem. We don't even do that because it's too expensive. We don't care about the other animals. And so to say you do, but then go grab a burger or go grab fried chicken or go whatever it is, go get some milk. How? You drinking that milk is taking away the milk from the baby calves that could have had it. And now they're going to have to drink some nasty, gross, processed milk that is not even going to help them grow. So it's just, I don't know. There's a lot more when it comes to the environment. Like I said, I'm not even really going to touch on that much, you guys. But it's still important, obviously. Our world is heading towards a scary, scary place. And I'm really sad that I was born into the time slightly that we're in. I don't think any time has been like the best time, obviously. But that's why, I mean, we need to change things now. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please do your research. And if you want to be rude or something in the comments, I know there's a lot of vegan haters. For whatever reason, I don't know. We're just trying to make the place better. So I don't really know why you don't like us other than you're scared. But if you want to say something nasty or rude, just know that the effort you put into your comment will be deleted, and I won't even really read it all. If it looks rude, I'm just not going to read it. So if that's your intention to make me mad, good luck, because it probably won't work. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Please subscribe. Let me know what else you'd like to see if you are interested in watching any more of my videos, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.